Hello everyone. Welcome to Ani Recap. Today I will tell you the story of an anime called The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. I will help you save time by recapping it. Grab your snack, water, and girlfriend if you had one. Enjoy. The story begins with a woman who hunting material from a monster. She is the main character named Anisphia. She always appears when there is a rare monster for its loot. Anis is a princess in that country but she can't use magic. In that world, the royal family is known for their capability of using magic, but it's different for Anisphia. She can't use magic. When she got home, her father or the king scolded him because always left the castle to do this. Flashback, at age of 5 Anisphia sees some memories and immediately thinks and wants to fly using magic. So she starts experimenting with a broom to make her fly. Anis has a maid that has always been by her side since her child named Ilya. Then, Anis moved to the experiment room to tell her partner about the magic stone that she got. In here we are told that Anis must use some drug to be able to use magic, even though that drug has a side effect. Anis is often researching to make a magic weapon and stuff that can be used by everyone. Anis talks with her partner about her little brother named Algard. He is the one who will continue their father's path as the next king. And Algard has a fiancée named Euphy that has talent in magic. Moving to Euphy, even though she is engaged with Prince Algard, Algard always gets close to a woman named Lainie from the baronetcy family. When Algard goes back after meeting Euphy, he met Anis and he's like mad about Anisphia that renounces her claim to the throne. At night, Anisphia continues her experiment to fly using the broom, but suddenly her broom is go out of control. In another place, there is a graduation party, and at that party, Algard is escorting Lainie instead of Euphy. Euphy was shocked to know this. In that place Algard announced that he renounced his engagement with Euphy and also accuses that she do outrageous things to Lainie. Euphy is shocked because she never does that and tries to argue with Algard. But all of Algard's friends support him and also 2 women accuse to help Euphy do these outrageous things. Euphy is confused about what's happening and can't argue anymore, and suddenly Anis come to that party because of her broom. Seeing this bad situation, she asked Euphy what was happening, but she didn't answer. Then Anis decide to take Euphy away and fly again with her broom. Anis comes to her father and the duke to ask them to let her have Euphy. Anis's father named Orphan is talking with Grants about Anis. Grants is Euphy's father. They were talking about Anisphia and Algard as the next king and also his issue with the Cyan Baroness. Then suddenly Anis appeared with Euphy and told that she carried Euphy here. Orphan was immediately mad at Anis because of her action. But after Anis explained what happened, her father becomes a little calm and shocked. But Euphy feels that she was failing and scared of her father. She says that she will take any punishment. Then, Anis asks her father to let Euphy be hers. At first, her father was mad, but then Anis explained, once a lady is turned down by the royal family, it will be hard for them to get married, and considering Euphy's talent in magic, it is such a waste. So Anis asked her father to let Euphy become her research assistant. Anis' research was a magic technology. It was innovative and has great potential, and once it is widespread it will help a lot of people. And because Anis can't use magic, it will be more accepted if Euphy that has the greatest talent as a magician in their country is her assistant. Anis always tease Euphy until her father is mad. Then Grants tells a story when Anis renounced her claim to the throne. Anis said to her father that she doesn't want to marry a man. If she has to marry, it has to be a woman. Because of that, Orphan suspects that what Anis wants is just to make Euphy as her own. Her father is mad at Anis because of this. In the other side, Grants wants to have this kind of relationship with Euphy, but Euphy feels scared of him. So he apologizes about he that always forces Euphy to do the thing that he thinks is right, but it might be wrong. Grants said that Euphy was doing her best to fulfill his hope, or maybe too well. And Grants asks to Euphy if is it hard to be the next queen. And Euphy cries and nodded. So Grants and Orphan accepted this. Move to Anis and Euphy. Anis shows Euphy her experiment and invites her to Anis's research room. When Euphy sees this, she thinks this thing has the potential to be bad. Because once the commoner can use it, the aristocrat will no longer have a specialty compared to commoners. And because it's already late, they decide to rest this day. In bed Euphy asks Anise could live on her own, but why did she save her? Anise explains that she thinks Euphy was the most perfect duchess, but Anise thinks that Euphy now can't smile on her own, so she just can't ignore her. Tomorrow Euphy packs her luggage from the royal family palace and moves to Anis's palace. When Euphy wakes up at Anis's palace, Ilia comes to her room to tell her that the Majesty is calling her. Euphy is still new to this place, but she is glad that she was able to stay free from the curious eye of the public. Euphy asks where are Anise to Ilia. Ilia said that Anise took her broom and fly somewhere, and not long after that, Anise arrive and ask Euphy to come outside. Anise wants Euphy to try the magical item that she makes special for Euphy. It's called a mana blade. Anise likes it very much and impressed with it. Anise also told Euphy to try to use her broom. At first, there is no problem with the broom, but when Euphy wants to land, she got knocked off the broom and hit the ground, but it makes Euphy laugh a bit, but she is suddenly sad again. Euphy still keeps her respect even though Anise already told her not to do that. Then, Ilia comes to call Anise because it's time to go to the Majesty room. While preparing Euphy's clothes, Euphy talks with Ilia. In their talk, Euphy said that she still thinks that Anise are still too far away from her. In Orphan's room, Orphan and Grants already oversee the Algard case, and all of Algard's friends are repeating the same story. And Orphan already asked Algard to stay under house arrest. Then, Euphy comes to the room, and she tells the story from her side. Euphy never makes contact with Cyan Baroness beside gave her candid advice once. Orphan asks if is there something strange about them. Euphy said that they all seem to believe in their own righteousness. Even when denouncing her, they seem like didn't have a bad motive. Orphan asks for time to look after this case and will inform to Euphy about it. Then Euphy gives back the forbidden library key that she borrows for the queen's education. Orphan told that Euphy can have it if she wants, but Euphy feel unworthy of it. Orphan apologizes because of seeing Euphy's persistence to leave this path. Then Euphy leaves the room and says goodbye to her past mate and sees his stuff one by one removed from the royal family palace. Back at Anis's palace, she back again forces Euphy to test a new magical item special for Euphy. Euphy is impressed and interested in that magic sword. Then, they rest under a tree and Euphy thanks Anise for everything. Anise also give that sword the name Arc-en-Ciel and slept in Euphy's lap. And a few hours later Anise wakes up. Ilia comes to them and talks with them. Euphy bit by bit starts to have a feeling for Anise, and because Euphy is blushing Anise thought that she is getting a fever. So Anise take care of Euphy and talks with Euphy in bed. Euphy told her though about Anise that she is jealous of Anise because she can live freely unlike her. And Euphy asks what she must do after this because she has no idea what she must do, and told Anise to command what should she do. Anise answer it, just search what she wants to do slowly and doesn't need to be in a hurry. Moving to Algard, he is under house arrest and one of Algard's friend's father has offered to him in order to cancel this house arrest. Tomorrow, Euphy train in the morning and sees Anise that are also training. Euphy meets Ilia and follows her because she has nothing else to do. So Euphy talks with Ilia about their past. Euphy tells her story that since a child, she has always been taking care to act like the next queen, and she thinks anyone wants her to do that. So now when there is nothing she has to complete, she starts to confuse about what she must do. Anise receive a message from the Adventurer Guild and immediately comes to Euphy. There is an emergency and they call Anise for it. Euphy confuses why the guild asks Anise for an arm and Anise told her that she is a high-class adventurer. Anise explained the situation. There is a stampede of a monster that comes to the kingdom because there is a powerful monster that hunts the other monster. Anise need to go because she thinks this monster is a dragon and she targeted the magical stone. Euphy worries about Anise and tell her that she wants to go then lets her join. In another place, Orphan is strategizing to defend against that dragon. And suddenly Algard comes to the place and asks to take a part to take down this dragon, and wants a present if he can take it down. Orphan already knows that what he wants is Lainie. Orphan sees Algard eyes and feels something strange, that is Algard isn't blind to love but his eye is gloomy and full of darkness. And because of pressuring Orphan let Algard take part in this case. Suddenly someone comes to the room and told that Anis and Euphy are flying to the dragon's place. Before goes to the dragon's place, Euphy asks Anis what she will use the magical stone from the dragon for. And Anis say that she wants to implant the magic stone to her body in order to be able to use magic. It has so many risks and possibly can make Anis turns into monster itself, but Anis will still do it. And because of that, Euphy starts to worries about Anis. When they gets to the battlefield, they join with the adventurer. After defeating a few monster, Anis told Euphy to help the adventurer clearing the monster while she will fights the dragon alone. Anis does this because she said Euphy doesn't has the experience in fights in the air. Euphy was worries to Anis, but she accepts it with heavy heart. And after seeing Anis eats the drug that let her use magic and see the side effect, Euphy worries even more. So Euphy forced to come and assist Anis instead of clearing the monster. Now the dragons is arrive. Anis immediately fly with her broom and attack the dragon, but all of Anis's attack doesn't work against it. That dragon has a really though skin, and Anis got attacked by her flame and got knocked off from the broom. The effect of the drug is already runs out, so she can call her broom back. Euphy runs as fast as she can to save Anis from falling down, and luckily she just made it to save her. Anis didn't surrender and still wants to continues the fight and eats the drug again, but Euphy immediately throws the drug away and mad at Anis. Euphy told Anis to stop so this and begged to take her instead. Seeing Euphy's will to fight, Anis let her join the fight and start to fight the dragon together. Euphy realized that the dragon has barrier around its body and the weak spot is its wings, so they need to accelerate to the wings and attack it from there. So they accelerating using Euphy's magic, and Anis jumps to attack the dragon's wing and succeed to cut off one of its wings. But that dragon isn't dies yet, and wants to attack with the magic. Anis and Euphy wants to dodge it, but Anis sees that the adventurer and the knight are behind them. So Anis decide to use her mana blade and release the full potential of it to cut the magic assisted by Euphy. And they success to cut it even though they are very exhausted. After the fight, Anis come to the dragon and talks with it, and that dragon give what he calls curse to Anis, and the dragon dies afterward. And after that they celebrate a victory party and Anis dance with Euphy in that party. Tomorrow morning Anis and Euphy go to Anis's partner's place. Her name is Tilty. She is an expert in curses. The reason they came to her is that Anis get cursed by that dragon, but Anis says that this might be not cursed but may be more precise if they call it knowledge. Anis gets knowledge about how to implant the magic stone from the dragon into her body and asks Tilty for help, and Tilty accepts it. Tomorrow, when Anis are working on this experiment, Orphan calls her. Anis worries that if her father knows about this experiment. But, after she comes to the room, her mother is in there. Her mother seems mad about Euphy's case and will give Anis a mother lesson. But that's not what they want to talk about. In here they want to talk about Algard's case. There is something strange in this case. It's clearly not Euphy's fault, but all of Algard friends that defend Lainie that day are sympathetic to her, and some of them still believe that Euphy is the one who fault. So they call Cyan Baroness and ask her by themselves and invite Anis to know her opinion. Tomorrow Anis come to Tilty's place to implant the magic stone and talk about this incident. Not just Algard's friend, but all people that have met Lainie are all sympathetic to her. Tilty seems like knows something and told it to Anis. Then, the time to meet the Cyan Baroness. They called into Orphan rooms, and Orphan asks Lainie if she is in love with Algard. Then Lainie answers that she is not in love and planning anything with Algard. It is a lie that she didn't like Algard, but she never does and plans something that breaks the royal family's future at all. Then, while they talk, Anis feels something strange and asks her father to let her and Lainie alone in a room to confirm something. The count is refusing, but Orphan let them do it and believe in Anis's intuition. Then, Anis check her body and feels something strange. That is in Lainie's body, there is a magic stone like Anis's body. And that magic stone has the power of fascination. And Lainie confirms that everyone likes her since a child, but she doesn't know anything about this. And Anis tells it to her father and mother. Anise wants to take Lainie to her palace to research, but her mother refuses it because Euphy also lives there. And that's it for now. This is an ongoing anime and still in Eps 6 right now, and that's the whole story for Eps 1 to 6, and this is part 1 of the recap. I will do the part 2 recap as soon as the anime finish Eps 12 in maybe like 1.5 months later. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And comment down below on what anime should I recap next.